Women should not be treated as goddess or goddess figure. So, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, why I said these lines? It begins with a story, a video I saw years ago. In that video, a girl was saying to a person that आपका कॉमन मैन हमेशा कॉमन मैन क्यों होता है कॉमन women क्यों नहीं होता है एंड देन ही गोज लाइक बिकॉज women आर नॉट कॉमन. I haven't seen that movie or series or whatever it is. I have never seen that. I have just watched the clip. I don't know the context, but that made me into thinking that why there is a tendency to treat women as goddess or as someone who is very superior. Not saying anything against women, but what I feel like when we start or started to put women on a pedestal, more of a god pedestal, we expect more of a god thing from women. But the reality is that women are as common as men. Women are as common as other person. What I have also seen or what I've also heard from people or on Instagram or YouTube on social media platforms that women or females वो तो देवी होती है. You should not be like a certain way. You should not walk like a certain way. You should not sit in a certain way because आप देवी हो and this does not suit you. But the fact is, of course, women give birth, and giving birth and putting a child into this world is heck of a task, and of course that is beyond any thinking, and that made them or that makes them special to themselves. But what I feel like, when you start thinking women as goddess, you put them into a pedestal and you expect them to only do god level things. You just expect them to always be right, always choose a particular thing, never do things that can be normal for them. Like, if they want to try different things, if they want to dress in a certain way, if they want to speak loudly, if they want to sit in a certain way, if they want to walk in a certain way, we always put them into a category that you should not do that because you are a goddess, or this does not suit you, or women should not be in this certain way. That is what I always feel. Respecting women and putting them into a pedestal is a different thing. You can respect a woman, but you can still think that they are as normal as other human being. And the same place, you will not respect women, you will abuse them, you will harass them, and then you will put women on a pedestal of them being a goddess. It is better to just treat them as a basic human, to just show respect, because showing respect to any human being or any creature in this earth is just very basic thing to do. Women should not earn respect, or we should not you should not show respect to women just because they are goddess. Showing respect, respecting them, letting them do whatever they want, not putting a tag that, oh, I am letting you do this. That is what I think is wrong. You should let them do whatever they want. It is not what I feel like. Why we think that we are letting them do certain way because we are allowing them. My thought can be crumbled here and there, but I don't know how to convey that. You should not have a thinking, or you should not respect certain women because you feel like women are god. You should respect women because just you should respect like any other human being. Apart from that, I really like to read female centric books. So I have read this, The Palace of Illusion. I have this book, The Forest of Enchantment, which I am reading. Both of them by Chitra are from Chitra Banerjee. I really liked the first book, and I am keen on reading the second book, which is The Forest of Enchantment. And I have a heck of books in my TBR which I really want to read are female centric. I'll just show up in the whole screen because there are lots and lots of books. Of course, I cannot buy every book because I cannot read every book at the same time, but I will buy over the time because I really like and I really enjoy reading female centric books. In this book also, and in this book which I haven't had read but I will read, you can see and you have felt that on theoretically women are more of a goddess, but when it comes to treating them, you treat, you do not even dare to treat them like a normal human being, because showing respect and letting them what they want to say, or letting them free speak freely, is just a very basic thing to do. But over the time this is not allowed to women. But why it is, why not? Because they are also human being, they are also born in this world, and they also have one life which they will live, which they will die eventually over the time, like every other human being. So that is what why I always feel that women should not be treated as goddess. The idea is great, because I feel like women can do. It is very true that women can do whatever anyone else can do. That is very simple thing that what I believe. The idea was great, because women literally gave birth, and giving birth is more of a like a god thing, because the god has created the whole universe by giving birth. So you are giving birth to child. That is how the whole world is surviving. Because if today, imagine, every woman just stop giving birth, so the world will not survive. Because at a certain time or to a certain extent, world can survive. After that, everyone is going to die, and there would no be the next generation for this earth. So that is also true. To some extent it is true that women are god, but when it comes to women having basic things, that is the same thing which backfires them. That, oh, you are god figure to us. That you have also heard, like बहन बेटी की इज्जत, which is true. Everyone has their certain respect, but why it is always just बहन बेटी की respect? For basic things, for letting them study, for letting them have boyfriends, for letting them have male friends, there is no problem for them having friends. There should be no problem, because they also have one life, and talking to the opposite gender does not make someone pathetic, or does not make them horrible. That is what I've always felt, and that is why I always think that women should not be treated as god. I'll tell you one more thing, that it is not just that all of these things happen in India only, that disrespecting women, killing women, or not having them do certain things, it happens all over the world. It's not like it's just happening in India. You will go in history and you will read about the things. You will know. Yes, of course, I am not at all denying the fact that there has never been anything that has happened wrong to men. Even when it comes to past, or even nowadays, I am not at all putting the finger just on men. It is just about me talking about women's, not at all denying the fact that women also have done horrible things to men, and men also have done horrible and pathetic things to women. I think so the graph is more higher on the men's side, that men have done more pathetic things over the years to women rather than women doing it on men. This was just me, the part that I want to clarify, that it's not about me saying ridiculous thing about men. It's just me saying things for women, or what I feel when I heard, or when I think of that people say that we should treat women as goddess, or I thought only treat women as goddess because they are goddess and whatnot. That is what I'm just sharing my thoughts on that point. uh, I have read so many things. You have also heard about witches practices, which for me was very common, because I've heard about this years ago. But one thing I've heard about China, in the Chinese uh, culture, it happened. Not, I will not say culture, not at all culture, but over the time, what used to happen then, when women or girl child, not at all women, girl child would go on a certain age, they will bind their feet just to look the feet smaller. I will just concise it into good sentences, because I'm not able to say it. What I read it, there was a girl, small child, and her sister was elder. She has an elder sister, and after, or on a certain age, she saw that her sister is not smiling, she's not happy, she's not enjoying, or she's not in her usual self which she used to be. But what caught her attention, that her feet was with clothes so that her feet stay concise. I will attach one photo of the feet. You will see the brutality that has happened to those women of those generations, and the happiness just went away. She, and why it was done, just for the marriage purpose, that if agar feet chota rahega, so there was something like it would look good, or something, there was something, I don't remember. If I'll find it, I will attach somewhere a screenshot of why it was done. But it was done for marriage only. And then she was married off, and when she was married she was also very sad. And over the period of time, the girl saw her sister and saw what she went through, but did not able to fully feel the feeling. But when that happened to her, she realized why she went, or she became so silent. She was not laughing. Her innocence was gone. She felt that why her sister's innocence was gone, and that was so petrified for me, because I had no idea that this was happening to women, or this was something that used to happen to women, or these are the things they have faced over the period of time. And I hope so this is not, this a practice is not going on, because there are so many practices that should not ever be made, but they were made, and now people are still following. There is some part in the world, even in India, in China, or whatever it is, I have heard that people do follow all of these practices, saying that it is good for them. But they never ask that whether the women want to or not want to. What I always had the thing, that why everyone except that women had the right to choose for that women. I have always have the feeling, and I've always had the thought. If you go back in time and ask that woman that, do you want the feet of yours to be, bound by clothes and tightly wrapped by clothes, that woman is always going to say no, that she does not want that. She never want that. But the fact, or the reality is that, till day, the reality is that everyone, literally everyone, will take the decision behalf of that specific women, that specific person, saying that the women is their property, or the women does not have the critical thinking to think that what is right or what is wrong for them. But the fact is, even the grown up person would take the worst decision that a child would never take. If you ask the girl that, would do you want all of these binding your feet with clothes, she will never say yes. But the grown up person who have the critical thinking will do that, saying that we know everything. But they don't understand the basic thing also. And this, all of these things, is not only done by men. All of these practices women have been very actively participated in so many parts of the world. All of these pathetic practices that was done to women was done by women also, was done by women only. Not everything, but there was a heck of a thing which was done to women by women only. Not saying that that was the thing that fed into their mind, but they have that thinking that if they have suffered, they will let the other person, or they will let the next generation suffer too. And that is also I have felt till this date. If a woman has stopped from doing something which was not wrong, just like suppose wearing kajal, women used to be stopped, or put a pause on wearing kajal back in the days, because people or the family, men in the family or women in the family, will always like, no, don't wear this certain way, because that will attract male gaze. That's a different thing, different heck of a topic, which to be covered. But I'm just going on the fact that, suppose that women is not allowed, it could be kajal, it could be lipstick, it could be heels, it could be putting colorful ribbons in their hair, or whatever it is, that but women is not, has been not allowed to do that. And throughout her life she has not had done that. But growing up, when she has a child, she has two options to let her daughter do that, and does not let her daughter do that. And with not letting her daughter do that, with I'm so sorry, she has two options. One, to let her daughter do that because she does not have the choice, but now she can help or she can encourage her daughter. And the second option is not letting your daughter do that and putting 50 taunts and or saying 50 different pathetic things to your daughter, and there's 90% chance that the women will do that because they have the feeling, if I have suffered, why wouldn't you? You have seen in serials कि जब सास के साथ बहुत बुरा होता है, when she was बहू in the house, she always waits कि जब मेरी बहू आएगी, if my child get married and then वो बहू लेकर आएगा, I will treat her the same way. They hold the grudge to themselves, so they wait for their chance. And when you will tell them that you have also faced that and why you are doing that, they will always be like, I have faced that, now I want to be the superior and now I want her to be inferior. And that is how the cycle keep on going. Every single practice from 100, 200, 500 years ago is running till now in their blood because of this feeling of a human that if I have had been through certain way, now it is my turn to be the superior and the other person turn to be inferior. That is a human tendency to do, and very small portion of human or people out there who did not do that, who will choose the other way around of letting the other person or having their choice to do whatever they want. But that portion is very small in every context of life, that is very small. And that is, we should understand that the problem we face nowadays, we should never surpass to the next generation, because we have faced, if you'll go and ask, I have asked that आप ऐसा क्यों करते हो, and they will just go and वो अपनी बहुत ही पुरानी और बुरी बहुत सैड स्टोरी सुनाएंगे जो आपको बहुत बुरा लगेगा, and then they will proudly do that to other person because उन्होंने सफ़र किया है and now उनको अब enjoy करना है. enjoy कैसे करना है? The thing is also that we have a tendency कि हम दूसरे इंसान को दुख में देख के भी enjoy it a lot. That is what happened. If I am suffering, I am waiting for the other person to suffer so that I can enjoy the happiness of seeing other person suffer the same way that I have been, and then enjoying it. That is pathetic. If you have the mindset, you should definitely think of that why we do that, why we have a tendency. And if you have a tendency, you should definitely stop it, because why you have to pass the trauma to other person? If you are someone who enjoys, if the person is hurt, then you are a terrible person. That is what I think. Not in a enemy way कि जिसने आपको hurt किया अगर वही hurt हुआ है, more of like a generational trauma, more of a thing. That is how pathetic thing has happened throughout to women over the years by just the sake of the things. But what I have also felt when it comes to religion or religious thing, if you go and read the religious book, as much as I know about the Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma, that they have never put forth any restrictions when it comes to girls, married women, widow women. All of these sati pratha, killing women when their husband has been killed, was never mentioned in our Vedas or our books, but it was more done by the people and just to get benefit, because it was written that if a woman husband is died, the entire property of the person should be given to the women. But so that women could not inherit that, they would just kill the women, seeing them or seeing their vulnerability. That because if you have lost someone who is very close to you, your husband, you are very vulnerable. You will tend to trust people who are your family, and then they put them in the state that if you love your husband or whatever it is, you should die. But that is not written in our books. There has never been written that a woman should die, a woman should suffer. All of these practices are made by human beings because of their greed, their selfishness, and that makes a human being a human being. That is what they feel like or they think. There's never have any instant that has been written in the books that the women should suffer. As much as I know, there has been never. When you go by the book, there has been instant that you feel like women have they are superior, but that is in a very very good way, very perfect way. But when it comes to now human being doing that, they just say it out loud but they do not do it. But on books they say it out loud, no, but their efforts convey the feeling. But here the people will say it, but the effort wise it is zero. They will not respect, because giving respect to someone is a very basic thing. You should give respect regardless of gender. You should help someone regardless of gender. You should think good for a person regardless of gender. That is why I feel, or what I feel, that people should start treating women as normal, or should not think women as goddess, because they are not. If I have to be, I don't think so. By any mean I am more of a goddess, because I am doing experiments in my life. I am going wrong, I am going right. If I would be a god or goddess, I would not have done anything wrong, because I'm a goddess. But I have only one life. I will do things, I will learn, I will do mistakes, and that is how I will grow. That is how I will become good. And what I feel like, you should also always try to become a good human being, regardless of any gender. You should treat human being good, or animal, or creatures, or whatever it is, in a very good way, rather than thinking that if they are god we will treat them in a good way, if they are not we should not. That is not right, I think. I have a feeling that I have conveyed in the front of camera. I had the feeling quite a time ago, but I don't know where to say it or how to say it. But now I realize that I have a YouTube channel. I speak. Then why I should not speak about that? If correct me whenever or at whatever point I am wrong, I would love to be corrected, and leave whatever thought you have in your mind, because I would love to hear it. I would love to know, because I saw a clip and that made me thinking into that. So just and say whenever, or even in the beginning of the video how it started, that I don't think so women should be treated as goddess or god. If I'm wrong at that point, correct me, because I want to know, I want to understand, and I want to know more and more about that. So that is end of today's video. I have few feelings or few thoughts on few topics, and I was like, why not convey here. Tell me other topics, like what you think on other topics, and I would love to give my thought on that topic, that what I personally feel about. And it could be anything. If I have a feeling, if I have a thought on that topic, I would love to come here and talk about that, what I feel. And you should always correct me whenever I am wrong, or whatever point I'm wrong. And please tell me what you think about this topic. And that is all today, about today's videos. If you like it, like hit the like button, comment. I have stored so many things to comment, so comment about that, and subscribe if you want more of these. I post book content, sometimes I do art content, and now I am doing all of these thought thing, and I will do, because I am reading, I am getting to know more and more things, so I will have the thought and I will of course convey here. So that is it for today.